Okay, we've got a lot of questions, so I have to go like lightning fast. So the first questions are from the Militant Working Boy. He says, why is the sky blue? The sky is blue because God made it that way. How many fingers am I holding up? I'm guessing 17. Where do babies come from? Wow. I don't know how to put this. Babies come from mommy's vaginas. Next question. How many nickels are in $1.35? 27. I think you guys can check my math on that. Jacob or Edward? Edward, like, no doubt. Who are Jacob and Edward? Jacob and Edward are what I've named my left and right ears, respectively. What's this weird stuff coming out of my belly button? I'm not at liberty to disclose that information as of this moment. And what's the vertex form of fx equals 3x times 2 plus 12x minus 20? I have no idea. You need yourself a calculator or something. And his 10th question is, where's number 9? I don't know where number 9 is. I guess maybe you ate it. The next questions are from Rainbow Revolver. She says, okay, how's your sex life? We know I'm no James Bond, I'm no Tom Cruise, I'm no Pee Wee Herman, but I have my fair share of freaky sex. She also asks, what is your favorite color? No contest, periwinkle blue. Do you like books by John Green and or Scott Westerfield? I have read, to my embarrassment, The Uglies, 2 books out of the Ugly series from Scott Westerfield, because my sister suggested that I read them, and I was like, okay, so I read them, and I mean, I didn't really like them, but I don't know if those are the books you're talking about. I do not know who John Green is. When it comes down to it, tea or hot cocoa, I'm not a tea person, so hot cocoa all the way. You know, marshmallows. Yeah. Why did you begin to blog in the first place? I began to blog because I was an insecure teenager who felt the need to whine about his problems online. So I guess nothing has really changed, to be honest. Can I send you a stripper for Christmas? I actually have no protest to that, but just make sure it's not some cheap hooker you found off the streets. You know, I want my bitches high class. Her last question, do you enjoy Stanley Kubrick movies? I hope that's how you say his last name. I actually have the only movie I know of that he's directed is A Clockwork Orange. And I've seen bits and pieces of that. I haven't seen the whole thing. The interesting thing about that, though, is that I have read the book, and my dad had lunch with the author when he was the director of studies at a private school in Oklahoma, and he said he was an interesting guy, and that when he sold the book rights to Stanley Kubrick, he made $85 off of it, which I think is pretty crazy because Kubrick made millions off of it. So, interesting tidbit for you. Furry Cat says, have you read any books by Stephen King? I have read The Shining, I've read The Green Mile, I have read Misery, I have read The Stand, I have started It. I think that may be it. I'm not sure. I'll have to get back to you on that. And which one is your favorite? Probably The Shining. I just thought that was a creepy book. I like creepy stuff because I'm a creepy person. The next questions are from Maxwell, and I'm actually going to skip them because I don't even know what's going on with those questions. But Maxwell, I like your smiley face, and keep it real. Boyd asks, favorite books, authors, and series. Well, usually I don't really pick favorites, but I will have to go with the Harry Potter series and be predictable, just because I think they're beyond anything else, and I love Harry Potter, and I'm going to be a wizard one day when I grow up, so I'm gonna have to go with Harry Potter. Authors, I think, as I said before, Stephen King, Neil Gaiman. I wrote to him, and he wrote back, actually. Marcus Zusak, I also wrote to him, he also wrote back. Lois Lowry, I wrote to her, I got a print letter, so I was mad, and then I sent her a lot of hate mail. And one last one, maybe, I don't want to sound like an old woman when I say this, but probably Jodi Picoult, because even though she writes a lot of sort of old lady books, I have read some of her books which are really good. Like My Sister's Keeper and 19 Minutes was my favorite book from her, so I'm going to have to go with that. Boyd's next question is, what's the proper way to punctuate the plural form of the word series? Actually, series can serve both as a singular and plural noun, but if you meant plural possessive form, then that would be S-E-R-I-E-S apostrophe. Do you consider yourself a hipster? Do you like hipsters? I don't know what I consider myself. I sort of belong in my own category, I guess. I like hipsters, I guess. I'm not sure if many of them like me back, but there you have it. He says, happy birthday, thank you, Boyd. How do you get your hair so perfectly coiffed and shiny? I think that's how you pronounce that. And then he says, good luck pronouncing coiffed. I can't. Ha 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 ha. I don't really do anything to it. Old ladies will walk up to me and be like, what kind of bleach do you use for your hair? And like, how do you do your hair? And I don't do anything to my hair. I use shampoo, and I use Aussie shampoo. I know that may sort of be for females because it's like purple and pink, but I like it. It makes my hair smell good. So that's what matters to me. Would you rather be a world-class musician, world-class writer, or world-class artist? I would like to be all three of these things, and also I'd like to be able to fly. How does one quantify world-class? I don't know, Boyd. Why don't you look in a dictionary? I wasn't being mean. I like dictionaries. I read dictionaries. Suggest everybody reads dictionaries. His next question, have you been to Michigan? Did you enjoy the proximity of Canada and Canadians if you have been? I have not been to Michigan, I'm sorry to say. Perhaps I will go one day, but until then, I'm afraid the answer is no. The next question is by some person named, I think, Harry Goaz, Harrgoaz, and he says, have a super week. And by any crazy chance, if you're reading this, Harry Goaz, this is my answer to you. Next question is from Gabby. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck uranium? Well, that was a surprise ending. I don't know. I guess it depends on the woodchuck and strength of the uranium. I don't even know what the verb to chuck means. So I'm afraid you're going to have to find that out on your own. Would you choose the red pill or the blue pill? I actually forget which one is which from The Matrix, for those of you who don't know what she's talking about. I guess blue pill then, because I like the color blue. Maybe I'd take both of them at the same time and see what happens. Like if I'd turn into some weird animal or something. I don't know. If you were a weevil, how many children would you have? What would the names be? I don't know what a weevil is. Next question. What is your very serious opinion on Rick Rolling? How about Rebecca Rolling? If you're not entirely sure, I suggest that you click on this completely some word I can't pronounce and purely informative link. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know what either of those things are, so I'm sorry.